It's wet. Well guys, g'day and welcome back to the channel. It's the day after the last video. Won't be coming out the day after the last video, but that's alright. Yeah, sorry, I'm missing something. I'll come to that in a minute. Yeah, the sun is shining, which is weird. It's not supposed to be, but well, it is right now, but it's not going to be shining for very long. Last night's round was a bit worse than yesterday morning's. Not much, to be fair. A little bit of losses. This girl had lambed, and she had decided to keep one lamb and the other one to run away. There's the other one there. She's still wanting to run away. There's here, right. What do you reckon, bud? What do you reckon about life? You had a big sleep and you're due for a feed, are you? I hope she looks after you. Hey? She really annoyed me because I put the two lambs back together and then she decided neither one was hers and wanted to go chasing another completely unrelated pair of lambs with another ewe. So, yeah, we caught her. This one over here, on the other hand, actually did a really good job. It was just a couple of circumstances that weren't too flash. She's a bit spooky. And I can kind of appreciate her being a bit spooky because if I grab this lamb here, now you're the supposedly better one, but he's got what we call a ewe neck, which is his neck's been a bit damaged at birth. It'll come right. Those two lambs have got to be 7 kilos each. They're huge. So she had a bit of a trauma at birth, I would suggest. She got them out on her own. But the lambs were a bit sore. She was a bit sore. I put the covers on them, and then she decided she didn't like the covers. Now in this controlled environment, she does seem to not mind them. She's obviously fed those lambs. They spent, I don't know, 3 or 4 hours last night by the fire. And then I brought them down here. They need to be with mum obviously, but they need to be able to drink off mum to do that. So got them warmed up, got them going. They had a little bit of a feed off a bottle, and here they are. And then there's this one here as well, which Sarah brought home, which is a triplet. They're quite big lambs for triplets. Look, it just wasn't going to work. She's a ewe that'll probably rear 3. Yeah. Now, when you consider that we probably had, on bad weather they know how to go hard, 150 ewes lamb yesterday. We've only got 3 here. There's going to be more when we go out today. We probably won't show deaths, but yeah, we'll be honest about it. But I just won't actually show it because then I'll probably get my channel shut down or something. Yeah, I'm thinking though it won't be too bad because it's been settled enough. Like, it's been wet and cold, but there was no big winds last night or anything like that. And actually, by the time the sun went down, most of the rain seemed to be done. Well guys, a couple of freshies there, and nothing found dead so far. We've got a ewe there, there's a lamb there, but I think she knows it. And we've got 1, 2, 3 to go until we get there. Does it belong to her? We'll find out. But yeah, I'd say by the time we get there, hopefully, we'll probably be sorted out. Alive. Can't see him over there. Alive, down by the fence, then in front, alive, all alive. All alive. Just down there, resolved. Well, that is very impressive, girls. You've done very well. Two-tooth twins. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's right, paddocks. And I've picked up 1 dead lamb. So that's a bonus, guys. In the best of weather, we don't have them all survive. Some of them just aren't born alive, and I suspect that one was probably that case, to be fair. Can't believe that. I really can't. I really thought I was going to come out to a bloodbath this morning, and the two deaths should be worse than the mixed age ewes, which we're going into now. Thought that one was dead, and then his head popped up. His mum's right there. She's got two. She's got two. Further over there, she's got a red dot in the middle of her back, which is where she's got one. Yeah, she must be one of those 30-something singles that I missed when they were going down the race. But the red dot is there, which means that her one is explained, which is good. Further over there, there. Yeah, it's good. Could have sworn that one against the fence was dead. And then the head goes up. Perfect timing, girl. Lamb's born into sunshine. Cleaned up before the afternoon scratch comes. Guys, cast, lamb's out, dead. The other one, bad udder. Right guys, this ewe just here. I caught those two ewes that we just got rid of. They were side by side actually, and on the way down I saw her and I thought, bugger, that lamb looked stuck. It really, I was convinced I was going to have to lamb her, and that's a horrible spot because that hill goes way down, and if I put steel on that ewe, she's going to run for miles. And once she's run for miles, she's going to be all worked up and upset, and it's going to be really hard to get her to stay in the paddock with those lambs. Anyway, I come back after dropping those ewes off, just through that gate, just down there. She's got it out, which is why we always, like I was saying, you don't just see a problem and rush to it and try and do something. You've got to give these ewes a chance to do it themselves. I'd only seen it from a distance, so I couldn't see whether there was a leg out or not. Obviously there was, because if there wasn't, you can't get it out. The lamb's, I don't know if you guys can see, shaking his head and trying to stand up, so he's only been out literally 3 or 4 minutes. Yeah, I have a theory, and I'm probably wrong, but it's a theory that I have, that my uncle used to do half the lambing here and I used to do half, and he used to have to lamb a lot of sheep and I used to have to lamb very few. And he used to be very thorough, and I used to be, still am, probably bordering on careless, some would say, but I don't think I am. Anyway, he would like to see every sheep and I would like to look for problems. So I'd look at the way a sheep's sitting, and if the ears are up and she's happy, we'll drive on by. If the ears are down or the head's down and she's looking a bit off, you might go and have a look. But anyway, the theory that I've got is that if a sheep, especially with multiples, is getting ready to lamb, as in the things are happening where the lambs are about to come out, and you make her get up and you disturb her and the lambs are all sort of getting in position inside, that it creates issues. It creates legs getting stuck back, or it creates two coming at once issues, tangled twins or triplets we call that, all sorts of other things. But yeah, I've got no evidence to back it up on, it's only correlation, but yeah, I'm relatively convinced that if you make a sheep get up when she's sitting down to lamb, that it can cause problems. Not that it will, but that it can. So another reason why, yeah, observation is key, because I could have caught that ewe and I could have pulled those lambs out and I could have put a yellow tag in her ear, which would have meant she becomes a terminal ewe for the rest of her life, means we don't breed from her again, and that could have been just purely throwing away good genetics. Anyway guys, we'll carry on. We won't get too hung up on this morning. We have another couple of looks at things, but I think we'll do an afternoon round today. Well, I'll take you guys for an afternoon round today as well. It's supposed to be a bit nastier this afternoon. We'll cross our fingers and hope the forecast's wrong, but I don't think it is. But so far, I am pretty impressed with how these girls have hung on. This paddock's definitely the worst for muddiness. yeah, we talked about that yesterday. That's, yeah, but so far I've only found the 2 ewes in this corner that had issues. Like I say, one of them was cast and had lambed, and the other one, well, she didn't have any milk, so her lambs didn't really stand a chance today. And we do try to pick that out and find whether the lambs will live for a day or so, and you're going around twice a day, you'll find those. Yeah, in bad weather they don't last very long, so, and it's almost impossible to tell until they've actually got an udder whether they're going to have bad udders or not. And with the amount that we get, like maybe 5 out of, what do we got this year, 22, 21 ewes were scanned, so maybe 22, 30 went to the ram. Yeah, you get 5 out of that. You know, how much work do you actually want to put in to find those, especially when you consider you're probably not going to find those, and if you do, you're doing it at a time that's actually really dangerous for the ewe to not be spread out. So yeah, we just accept that that's part of the deal. Right, so those 8 sheep there have just come from there. They just opened both the gates and they came into here. That's the paddock I said yesterday I was probably going to destock. I probably should have been a bit more clear when I said you can't move sheep once they start lambing. The sheep with lambs you cannot move, it's impossible. Well, it's not impossible, it's very, very difficult, and it comes with high risk. The ones that haven't lambed yet, especially early on, you can chop and change a little bit, but you don't want to move them too far. So yesterday afternoon I pulled 15 out of there into here, and then I've just taken another 8 out of there into there. So that means that paddock, so what's that, that's 20, so I'd put 15 in here, I think I did 23. So that 10 hectare paddock will now have well under 100 sheep in it, like 93, 94 I think. Yeah, so it should take the pressure off. It's just dirty, it's just what happens when they're grazed last, just part of the deal. Like I've said, we can't really avoid that because we can't not graze any paddocks, so yeah, that's what it is. Well, that wasn't very clever, bud. Yeah. Turn sideways. There you go. Go get your mum. Ah! She knows he's there. There we go. Good girl. Ram's in home. They know where to go. Right guys, let's see what's happening here. I think these two, shit. We didn't think that quite through. Try that again. Come on. Get out of there. Seems to like that lamb. One more thing to do. Worth noting, doesn't work very well backing up to the doors that go that way, because the door on the trailer is on the wrong side for that. Got to give this girl her yellow tag. She gets a black tag. She's got a low udder. That's why her lambs didn't survive. She's letting their lamb drink, which is good. But yeah, a young lamb, or 2 young lambs, struggled to get onto her. So, it won't be better next year. There you go. It'll only be worse. So like we say, we like to breed out welfare issues. Grab the camera and show you what I mean. So, see here it is quite big and quite low. The teats face the right way, but I would say next year that'll be on the ground. So, sorry girl, it's your last year. See, that way works a lot better backing up, because this door opens the other way. Yeah, girl. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, that one's guts. Now, I expected that ewe over there to have run away, but she has not. Which is, well, I mean, it's good. She didn't run away. But at the same time, I need her to move up the hill. She was quite frisky when she came out of that trailer, but she stopped and waited for the lamb. I thought this one was going to be quieter, but she just about bowled me over. Yeah, now this one, I can't remember for sure. I'm pretty sure she's only supposed to get a yellow tag. So she's only going to get a yellow tag. So the difference there is that a black tag is going to go to the works. Like I said, we don't want to be breeding situations, or yeah, we don't want to be creating situations that cause welfare issues. That ewe over there directly causes a welfare issue. This one here, I can't remember what happened to her. She's got dead lambs. Doesn't matter what happened to her, she's got dead lambs. Now that isn't necessarily her fault, but a lot of other sheep out there didn't have dead lambs at the same time. So the one further over is going to go to the works because her udder's going to be on the ground. The lambs aren't going to be able to get on it. Those lambs will die. This ewe, most likely next year, will have live lambs, and they will survive and she'll rear them. But because we don't know what caused it this year, probably was the weather, but we don't know for sure. We're going to keep her. She's worth keeping because work ewes are not worth a lot at the moment. And yeah, we've got to keep our numbers up. We've got to try and get our numbers back up. She'll probably rear lambs next year. What we'll do is just not keep replacements from her. So there'll be a terminal breed. So there'll be a South Down or a Pole Dorset. Yeah, or half. Yeah, and that increases our terminal numbers. Those lambs do a bit better, but those breeds in their females are a lot more work than the Romneys. So that's why we have the Romney ewe. Yeah. She really likes that lamb though. She's letting it drink. Gosh. Pop you guys there for a sec. I'll do this without getting in with you, girl. Hey, doing the other ear, but she's already decided she didn't like her earrings. So, hey girl, show us your other ear. She's decided to pull the tags out, and there's not a lot of good area there to tags in. So, as long as she has a yellow tag in her ear, should be fine. Right. We'll just head up that hill. There's obviously quite a good bond there. She's waiting for the lamb. Okay, so that one was a bit quieter actually than the other one. She's already way out there, still with her lamb. She's going to go, she's going to wait for the lamb. Yes, she is. We need to get out of here. Right guys, so that was mothering on. That was taking a lamb, sorry, taking a ewe that's lost her lambs and taking another lamb that didn't have a mum for whatever reason. It happens, they obviously have a mum, but they've got lost, mismothered. Mum doesn't have enough milk for 2 or 3. Are you going to get up, bud? Why have you got a mouthful of wool? Hey? Problem is you've got a bit friendly now, haven't you? Hey? I don't know. With the forecast tonight, and the fact these guys have had a bit of a stressful welcome into the world, I don't want to let them go, but at the same time they can't really stay in here much longer. We don't have anything to feed the ewe that's going to keep her milking. Anything we feed her, hay or whatever, is only going to help to dry her off. I will put a bucket of water in here. I might just have to. I've got some hay I got off a mate. It's actually really good quality, so I might just have to do that with a bucket of water. But the longer you leave them in here, the more likely they are to dry off. She should be fine till tomorrow. Tomorrow we now have snow forecast. That's lovely. Yeah, not a lot of snow. Not a lot of snow for here. Possibly higher up might get quite a bit. Anyway, this girl and her 2 lambs, they got to go. Because they just here because she didn't want them, and now she's quite happy with them, so they can go. So we'll get them gone, and then Sarah's triplet might stay here the night too, I think. See that fella? See how his head's a bit funny? That's that unique thing I was talking about earlier. Yeah, they're strong lambs. Bringing them down last night, they were kicking and fighting, and I could barely hang on to them, but she likes them. I'm just pretty confident that if I let them go, they're gonna get wet and cold and die. Those 2 are absolute rippers, and they will live. Come on girl, will you go the wrong way at the race? I reckon you will. There you go, there you go. Yes, you got absolutely annihilated last night, didn't you? She was very naughty, had to catch her twice. They don't like being caught by dogs. Right, we've got a trailer in here. So yeah, mothering on is the practice of taking a ewe with a lamb that is not theirs, and taking a couple of days of getting that ewe's milk through that lamb, and then you sort of have a happy feelings outcome where a ewe that needed a mum and a mum that needed, a lamb that needed a mum and a mum that needed a lamb help each other out, and then she'll rear that lamb through. Bottle feeding lambs, 20% of them will die because the milk we get isn't actually sheep's milk, and you can't get it. Last I heard, sheep's milk powder, like they feed it to babies, it was like $100 a kilo. Yeah, kilo doesn't make very much. Yeah, so that doesn't really work. Plus, the fact of the matter is it's cost prohibitive, and that they will never be that great of a lamb. and it costs about $60 or $70 to rear the lamb on powder. Plus you've got to have some kind of nuts or something for them, plus the time involved and everything. And a year like this we might get $90 for that lamb. It just doesn't stack up. The ewes are going to rear them without costing us anything but maybe half an hour of time. So yeah, it makes a lot of sense. It's something you have to be quite careful with. It's something I haven't done a lot of over the years because we haven't had the need, but with weather like this, yeah, there's a bit of need. It gets harder as time goes on. The more lambs in the paddock, obviously you have to catch the ewe. Like I just said with the dog, they don't like being caught by a dog, but there's not really a lot of other ways to catch them. That's, yeah, I mean, no one's going to want to see a motorbike parked on top of a sheep, are they? You can't catch them on foot, so that's why we use the dogs. As time goes on, as there's more lambs in the paddock, that will create more upset in the paddocks, so you've got to weigh up whether that's worth doing or not. But right now, at the start of lambing, there's not a huge amount of lambs around. They're a bit easier to catch. It's a better time to do it. And to be fair, the ewes at this time of year that lose their lambs seem to be a lot more understanding about taking on another lamb than the ones at the end of lambing. That becomes a battle, and it just doesn't work because you've realistically got 2 days in those lamb pens, otherwise they start losing their milk. We're not allowed to tether them anymore. The previous generation used to tether them to like a wheel or a tyre or a tractor weight in the middle of the paddock, and they'd go around and shift them 3 or 4 times a day, give the lamb a feed at the same time. It's a system that worked quite well, but for reasons that I don't necessarily disagree with, tethering is, to my understanding, now illegal. So we don't do that because it's, well, it's not illegal, sorry. Our farm assurance premium program, whatever they call it, it dictates that we can't tether. So we can do tethering, but we just don't get the farm assurance premium, which is something we want to get. So yeah, we can't tether. Anyway, I'm waffling, we'll carry on. Now if I tagged this one last night, I probably would have put a black tag in her ear, but we'll stick with the system. And it's a yellow for her. There you go. Hold still. There you go. 2 lambs. Seeing as she's got a blue mark on her bum, just to identify them if they do get lost in the next couple of days. Another couple of days and there should be no chance of that happening again, but yeah. Have I shown you guys these triplets? Oh, they're good sized lambs. Yeah. Right, now these 2 are a bit younger, and obviously there's 2 of them to make sure she takes, not just one. Hey wee bud. But they are her lambs. I think should work alright. Shut that, and then half the bagging goes away. Right, that's another 4 lambs saved, I guess you'd say. It doesn't add up to a lot, but it makes you feel better. And hey, that's 4 lambs today. I mean, I hope we don't, but if we get that up for 18 days of lambing, that's 72 lambs. That's roughly 3% on our lambing. We don't want to get to that. Yeah, the way it's looking this year, 51% of our lambing is mother-ons, and ones we brought home with their own lambs and everything else. It's like going back to the old days.
I am going to take you on a trip around my sheep today. We are currently in my first paddock, which are mixed age singles, which to be fair are doing their own thing. paddocks that you see up there are actually Ben's, but he's taken 1, 2, 3 paddocks from me just because yeah, it just worked out that way this year. So yeah, I'm gonna take you for a quick trip. It will be in fast mode. So we've got these guys and 3 paddocks of triplets, then across the road 2 paddocks triplets, 2 paddocks of 2 singles, and the last paddock is mixed age singles and twins. Guys, so that's the end of the triplet paddocks. Hopefully that comes up okay. I actually have no idea what I'm doing with the camera, so I don't even know if it's in hyperlapse, normal mode. So this is the afternoon round. Triplets are done. It's pretty windy, so hopefully this sounds okay. See that you over by the fence line there. I'm pointing to it, but obviously on the camera my finger isn't. Somewhere there. She had one lamb out this morning and one with a head and foot, so I pulled it out and the next one came out. So 2 were alive, 1 was dead, and I've just gone past her now and all 3 are dead. She's literally just steam trained backwards and forwards over them, so I'm pretty gutted about that. What do you do, you know? And also this is actually my muddiest paddock. I say, you're probably like, no it's not, but I try and keep to the same track unless I have to go get something, but it's just very, very wet underfoot and the lambs are coming out real muddy. I don't even know how to zoom in, but there's lambs up there just drinking off mum and they are just mud. So my last 3 paddocks are literally these next 2 paddocks, which are singles. They're not really doing much. There's a few lambs in there, but I just try to not disrupt anything unless required. So like even with my triplets, my aim is to go from the gate to the middle to the next gate. I can see a lot from when I'm driving through. So like I'm always looking what's going on, obviously, but also looking at the next paddocks, thinking, okay, do I need to go into that quarter? If not, I can skip it and go to the next one, because you can see what's happening. And so far so good this afternoon. Actually, I've brought 1 lambs in the trailer at the moment, but everything else is quite happy. And the great thing about triplets being fenced into the quarters is so much more easier to manage. The only stuff up you could get is if lambs cross through the fences. There is power, but only power on the top 2. And that could be like, okay, there's a lamb in here, her mum's got to be in here, but actually it's come through from another quarter. But you sort of pick it up and work it out, and if you don't, then the lamb becomes a pet lamb or a lamb to mother onto another ewe. So yeah, that's the end of the triplets. I'll now get these last 3 paddocks done, go home, cook tea. Ben's somewhere, he's up by the trees at the moment. So yeah, I think he's having a good run. And that is the end of my round. Hopefully it comes up okay. I've actually got to go catch a ewe that is out of this paddock that decided to run straight through the fence and across the bridge, and she is just down in the river. So we're gonna go catch her, take her home, because she has a lamb that looks as though it might take some pulling. But one piece of advice on lambing round: listen to music or a podcast, because man, it calms you down even when things are shit. So highly recommend it. As you can see, she's right there. What are the chances she popped up into the paddock? Oh, she's gonna go for a swim.
One. Number 2, strings didn't want to come out, so we've tied them on. They're going to come, they're tight. There we go. I know, wasn't near here, was there? Number 3. Number 4. Another one the strings didn't want to come out of. And number 5. Well guys, it's coming. Everything's looking happy enough. Not you though, hey girl. Here we go. There you go. Hey. Right, let's keep going. This one had a lamb sticking out, but no, she just never got tail. There you go. She's a single too. She's huge. no, not a lot here obviously. It has actually for the most part thawed and is disappearing. This morning this was all white, and when I say it was all white, it was like this white. Feeling pretty sorry for those guys up in the hills. Yeah, seems to be heavier just over there, because that is no higher than us, which is unusual. I suppose up there might be, but yeah, worse over that way, not quite as bad in the hills over this way. I mean, most or everything's done pretty well. There's some sheep out there that have lost both their lambs, and there's a few that have lost one, but I mean, in these conditions, what do you expect? Yeah, really feeling for those guys that don't have quite as much grass as we do, or the ones that are a bit higher up. I'm thinking over that hill and lower than us is going to be pretty bad as well towards the coast. Yeah. Look, it is what it is. We farm sheep in Southland and this can happen sometimes, but it doesn't make it easy, especially with the economic situation in sheep and beef farming right now. So yeah, I think we're going to end the video there, guys. If you know a sheep farmer down south, get a hold of them, check in on them, say good day. If you can, go and have a beer with them, whatever. Go and have a catch up, coffee, whatever you want to do. There's a lot of guys out there that are hurting quite a bit right now, guys. So catch you later.